a COVID vaccine. The first round, the first batch, phase 1A, whatever the heck they want to call it.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. Why the heck should I get a vaccine for something that has a 99% survival rate? Well, that's a really great question. Good morning, friends. It is December 18th. Oh my god, I kind of look like a hot mess. It's December 18th. It's the day before my birthday, and it's the last day of being 23. My last shift of 23. I'm tired. I stay up late talking to a friend last night. Kevin is on a string of night shifts, and so I won't get to spend time with him for a long time, especially when I'm on day shifts. We most of the times don't cross paths at all. Let's do this thing. Kevin just called me because he was worried that I didn't wake up. I honestly just woke up a little bit late, and so I didn't have time to text him. But get you a boyfriend that wakes you up in case you can't. This is the start of a 12-hour shift. Welcome to my little mini morning routine. So I change into my scrubs at work, and then this is the last couple of moments before I pop on a mask or a N95. I actually have a little locker at work, and so I don't have to take my shoes home. I just change into my dance goes. This is the first time I'm sitting down. It usually is around 12:30 or 1 after the morning rush is over. This was the day before my birthday, so my coworkers got me a birthday cake, they got me flowers, they even got me presents. I honestly felt so special. I don't think I've ever been this loved by my coworkers before, and it's no wonder why I like this job the best. In case you don't already believe that the pandemic is real, here's a stash of my N95s collected over the last couple of months, minus the ones that were way too gross or that I sneezed in. When the clock strikes, she's Cinderella, she changes, and she goes back home. This is me holding all the stuff my coworkers got me, and then I came home to a beautiful, beautiful surprise. Kevin probably didn't know if I was going to be able to see him before he left, and so he had this all prepared. But look at this beautiful, beautiful photo collage that he made for us. Kevin knows that creating content and making videos on YouTube is one of my biggest passions and one of the things that brings me the most happiness in my life. And so we actually had a conversation about which videos were my favorite from the year. He compiled a photo collage of all of my favorite thumbnails. Hi, I'm changed. I'm in pink sweatpants in full Mickey fashion. We are eating Shake Shack for Din Din. I'm gonna drop Kevin off for his shift in a little bit. Then I'll spend the rest of the night alone like I spend every other night. What the heck? I ordered 2 fries. They only gave us 1. I ordered 2 fries.
Can you tell them?
No, I wanted 2 fries for me. I didn't order 2 fries for you.
They must refund you the whole order.
Exactly.
Exactly why you light me up inside. Hi everybody. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Happy early birthday.
Thank you.
Technically it's already your birthday.
Ah.
Because you were born in Japan.
I was born at 6 a.m.
In Japan.
My birthday might be over. Like, who the heck knows?
Your birthday's at 1 second?
Mm-hmm. Bruh. Hi, I'm back. I know it's been a little bit. Today is actually my actual birthday. I'm here with the little buttos. We already dropped Kevin off at work. This is truly the best news I've received in all of 2020. I just got notified from my workplace that I am in fact eligible to receive a vaccine, a COVID vaccine. The first round, the first batch, phase 1A, whatever the heck they want to call it. I have moved to a cleaner background with better lighting because this next segment is so important to me that I want to make sure that this is the best quality so that you can actually hear what I'm saying. I want to talk a little bit about my decision about getting the vaccine, why I feel comfortable getting it. Kevin also did a video recently talking about more of the science and the basics of the vaccine. So if you're interested in the basic science of the vaccine, I'll link his video in one of the cards on the corner so you can check that out. But today I'm talking about my personal decision. I also want to address some things that have been floating around in the media, i.e. Bell's palsy, not knowing the long-term side effects, all that kind of stuff. So we have a lot to unpack. Let's just jump right into it. If you don't already know, just to give you a little bit of context, I am a young female. I am 24 years old, so I'm in my mid-20s and I'm very healthy, and I obviously work as a nurse, and so my biggest risk for getting COVID is through my workplace exposure. Please just keep that in the back of your mind when you're listening to all of these statements, because in the same way, if you're super worried about your body, know that I am even more worried about my own body too. And so I did not make any of these decisions or think about any of these things lightly. The vaccine is an mRNA vaccine. So mRNA stands for a messenger RNA. It's a little piece of code, and your body can can take that code and make a harmless protein. Your body then recognizes that that protein isn't supposed to be in your body, and so in turn, it mounts an immune response and builds antibodies. Basically, your body has already learned how to fight a future infection from COVID-19 without actually getting COVID-19 and dealing with the very serious adverse consequences that come with getting COVID. In the actual research study, there were over 40,000 participants. Half of them received the placebo, half of them received the actual vaccine. Just to give a brief overview based on that data, basically the vaccine was 95% effective. There were no serious adverse effects noted. This brings me to my first point. So a lot of people are saying that they don't want to get the vaccine because they don't know about the long-term adverse effects. And I hear you, I understand that point, but we also need to understand that we are stuck in a global pandemic, and the only way to stop what is already going on right now is for as many people to get vaccinated as possible so that we can develop herd immunity. Listen to the next part. So, based on previous vaccine research, we know that most serious adverse effects from vaccines happen within the first 6 weeks. Listen to that again, 6 weeks. And so these vaccine trials have already been going on for 6 months, and there have already not been any major adverse effects noted. So I feel very safe just knowing that point. The other thing is that 7 years ago, there are people who took mRNA vaccines who to this day still have no severe side effects. So that is also very, very reassuring. So if you're thinking about the long-term side effects of the vaccine, yes, I agree with you. We will never know the long-term side effects of the vaccine until that time actually passes. But it makes no sense for us to wait 10 years before we give people the vaccine when we are stuck in a pandemic now. The number of lives we would lose, the amount of money the economy would lose, all things considered, it just simply doesn't make any sense. The next thing that I want to address is Bell's palsy. So I've been seeing all this stuff in the media about how people have been paralyzed and can't walk because they got the COVID vaccine, and I'm like, where is this information coming from? And it's in fact because there are a couple of people in the vaccine trials who have gotten Bell's palsy, which if you aren't familiar is a unilateral facial paralysis where basically you are unable to control the muscles on one side. The cause of Bell's palsy is unknown. Based on previous studies, within a population of 10,000 people, usually 15 to 30 people will develop Bell's palsy. So that, if you do the math, is 0.15% to 0.03%. In the Pfizer trial, there were 4 people out of 19,000, so that's 0.02%. And then in the Moderna trials, it was 3 per 15,000, so that's also 0.02%. Now, if you compare that number from the vaccine trials to the general population, that is the same darn percentage. So based on those numbers, we know that the incidence of Bell's palsy in the vaccine trials versus in a random population is the same. There's no way to draw a direct correlation between getting the vaccine and increasing your incidence for getting Bell's palsy. Then finally, I want to address the fact that people are saying that the vaccine came out way too fast and there's no way that it's safe because of how quickly the vaccine rollout came out. The previous record was held by the mumps vaccine, and that took 4 years to create. And so let's talk about why the COVID vaccine actually could come out so fast. mRNA technology is not new. We're not starting from scratch. This technology was discovered over 30 years ago, and there's been plenty of research. There hasn't been enough time and money invested in it until we hit the pandemic. Then all of a sudden it became very valuable, and that leads me to my next point. Billions of dollars have been invested in COVID vaccine research. Never once has so much money from the government, from private institutions, from all these different sources all coming together to help support global health. And then number 3, we have the smartest, greatest, most brilliant brains from all around the world. Leaders, scientists, researchers, everyone putting their brain together to expedite this process as soon as possible. That is a lot of brain juice, if you ask me. Enrollment was also very easy for the trials. Most of the times people are very hesitant to join trials, and it takes a long time to get people even to agree to be in a vaccine trial. With COVID, the short-term and the long-term effects of COVID-19 itself are so severe that everybody and their mother all wanted to be part of the vaccine trials, and so they had no problem finding enough people. And then finally, basically we were able to remove that bureaucratic red tape, and phases were run simultaneously during the clinical trials, which really heavily expedited the process. It took a lot of time, a lot of money, and all of these people all coming together, and that is the reason why we have the vaccine already. It wasn't pure luck. The safety checks were not compromised.
I know there are plenty of people who are gonna say, well, COVID-19 has a 99% survival rate. Why the heck should I get a vaccine for something that has a 99% survival rate? Well, that's a really great question. I read this on Instagram, but I thought this summarized it so well. Surviving and thriving are completely different things. COVID-19 is something that is so scary. It has so many short-term side effects as well as long-term side effects. The symptoms persist for months. They damage your heart, your lungs, and your brain, which can lead to long-term chronic issues. You do not want to risk getting COVID-19. There is no world where getting the actual disease is better than getting the vaccine and protecting yourself. If you don't care about your own health, then fine. I don't have any arguments with that. But just keep in mind, do you care about the people around you? Do you care about the people that you love? Would you want to put them at risk? Okay, I feel like I was super ranting there. I probably talked way too much. I sincerely apologize. The research is incredible. I am so excited. I can't wait to get the vaccine, and I hope that this video provided you some clarity on my decision, how I came to it, and maybe it'll support you in making a decision as well. As always, don't forget to stay informed and use reputable sources. I will link everything down below, so don't forget to check that out. If you enjoyed this segment, please give this video a thumbs up and leave me a comment. Let me know what you thought. So yeah, don't forget your 10 out of 10 and don't let anyone ever make you feel otherwise. Okay, I love you guys so much. Bye.